So why is it we've just passed Halloween and you're already exhausted? I like to call it the holiday dread, and I remember it all too well. So why is it we've just passed Halloween and you're already exhausted? I like to call it the holiday dread, and I remember it all too well. Between my work full time as a doctor and single parenting 5 amazing kids, by the time Halloween hit, I felt like I was in a full on sprint for 6 weeks, only I'd forgotten to train for the race. You know what I'm talking about. There's the physical demands, the holiday concerts, programs, pageants, every night of the week, the holiday parties, the breakfast with Santa. When you look at the calendar, you see that you're not going to be sleeping until January. And that doesn't even take into account the emotional part. You know, the worry and the dread that weird Uncle Albert is going to be drunk before Thanksgiving dinner is even served, or that your sister is going to be upset about hosting a holiday family event again, or that your sister is going to be upset about not getting to host. Maybe you've got family that's upset that you're splitting time between one family and another for the holidays. You've got a boss that'll be disappointed if you don't come to the Christmas party. You've got friends that'll be disappointed if you don't come to their holiday cookie exchange. And there's so much time spent trying to manage other people's feelings that you forget entirely about your own. For those of you who don't know me, I'm Dr. Melissa. I'm an executive consultant. I'm a leader in narcissistic abuse recovery, and I'm the founder of the Anti-Fragile Academy, an academy that I founded to help brilliant soul-driven leaders like you create greater impact and greater fulfillment while you're out there changing the world. Today, I'm talking to you about holiday dread and this physician's 7 tools to stop it. Number 1 is the most important part of planning that everyone misses. That is sitting down and deciding what it is that you want from this holiday season. Now, that might sound kind of obvious, and you might be thinking, I already do that. But I want to challenge that for a moment, because the way that most people decide what they want is by listing what they don't want. They don't want to spend all of Christmas Day in the car traveling from one house to the next. They don't want to travel. They don't want to be home alone. They don't want to be run so ragged that they need to sleep for 3 months come January 2nd. They don't want to get into a fight with their toxic sister at Thanksgiving. They don't want to hear any more of their mom's disappointment about how their life turned out. They don't want any more questions about when they're getting married or when they're going to start their family or when they're going to get a real job. They think about what they don't want. Now, I'm going to challenge you to flip the script on that, because when you think about what you don't want, you actually attract more of it. It's one of those energetic laws of nature. Instead, I want you to think about what you want. Do you want to be home in your house this holiday season? Do you want to be traveling? Do you want to spend a lot of time with loved ones, or do you want to prioritize a few key events? Do you want to bake 1,000,000 cookies, or would you really rather pass this year? Do you want to go wild shopping and wrapping, or would you rather gift people quality experiences? There's no right or wrong here. It's really just what's right for you. Now, once you've decided what it is that you want this season to look like, we move to step 2, and that is to distill the essence of what it is that you want. And what do I mean by that? The essence is the intrinsic nature of what it is that you're creating. It's the core reality of it. Maybe for you it is love or connection. Maybe it's joy. Maybe it's a sense of peace. Maybe it's a sense of authenticity. And you want to give yourself full permission to show up unapologetically you. Maybe it is freedom to do what you want when you want without having too many things on the calendar. Again, there's no right or wrong. This is just what's right for you. But when you determine the primary essence or essences that you want to create, they become your North Star, your guiding light that helps you discern whether invitations or new opportunities will help you create or cultivate more of that essence or whether they will not. And if the answer is they really will not, or that is also a no, those are easy to decline. It becomes a very quickly a yes, this is aligned with the essence I want to create. No, this isn't, and I will very politely decline. Once you've established the essence and you have that guiding North Star, the third step is to prioritize 3 experiences or events this season that are going to really help you cultivate that essence. So if the essence that you want to create is peace, maybe one of those events is going to be a day at the spa. Maybe one of them is going to be getting away for a weekend and just really unplugging from all of the holiday busyness. Maybe one of them is going to be going to do a float session, a sensory deprivation tank. It can be anything that you want, but if you're prioritizing peace as the essence, you want to find at least 3 experiences or events that help you cultivate that. Now, if the essence that you really want to cultivate is connection, those might be big family events or big friend events or other ways that you like to find connection. And I say to prioritize 3 because after that, our decision-making process has to become a little tighter. When we move to step 4, we're really looking at well-being. Now, if you've heard me talk before, you may very well have heard my story that I used to joke that on my own list of priorities, I came below feed the cat, and I didn't even have a cat. It is so easy to put ourselves last at any time of year. And even if you've worked on improving your well-being, improving your self-care, this holiday season is enough to knock those habits right out of you. So we need to make sure that that doesn't happen. You know how the cycle plays out, right? You put your well-being last and you don't get enough sleep. Then you're exhausted during the day. Then you binge on sugar or caffeine to try to boost your energy. But unfortunately, they only increase your cortisol level, which is already high from all of the stress. So they only make you sleepier and have less energy. And the cycle continues. I only half jokingly referred to this holiday season as a 6-week sprint. But the reality is that the performance enhancing things that you would do as an athlete, as a top professional, are the things that are going to help you enhance your performance during the holiday season. Getting enough sleep, drinking enough water, getting exercise regularly, getting out into nature, eating healthy foods. You may have many more that go on your list, but prioritizing those things is huge. And so after you've put those 3 priorities on your calendar, when you get a new invitation, you're now going to weigh it as, is it aligned with the essence that I want to cultivate? If the answer is no or meh, you're going to decline it, graciously decline it. But if the answer is yes, then you have to ask yourself a second question. Will this enhance my well-being or will this detract from it? Because even the best, most amazing invitation or opportunity, if it makes you sleep deprived, if it makes you miss your workout, if it makes you unable to take care of yourself fully, is a no. And if that sounds selfish to you, I want you to think about it this way. Being at your best, physically, mentally, emotionally, is best for everyone's holiday experience, not just your own. Okay, number 5 is presence. And I'm not saying presents with a T that go under the tree. I'm talking about presence, being fully present in each experience, in each moment, whether it's one of the holiday events or experiences, or whether it's one of your moments of rest. When you are at a holiday experience, one that was chosen to cultivate the essence that you want to create this season, and you are off in your head thinking about something else, making a shopping list or a to-do list, picking up the phone, doing something else, and you miss it, the amount of FOMO is enough to knock you over. The experience of dread that here was your opportunity, here was your shot to connect, to experience joy, to play, to feel peace, and you missed it, right? I mean, that's like a massive gut punch. And the stress that it creates when you then are scrambling to figure out how you're going to undo it, how you're going to unring that bell, how you're going to add in a new activity or experience or event to try to recreate what you lost. Because you know there are some things that we just can't get back. There are only so many Christmases with our children or our grandchildren when they're little. There are only so many holiday events with elderly parents or grandparents. When you're not present, the amount of stress and angst and upset or unrest that causes is extraordinary. It is a massive energy leak. So here's what I want you to do. As often as possible, and especially before those 3 events that you prioritize this season, I want you to get present by utilizing all of your senses. This will only take a minute or 2. Take a look around you. Notice 5 things that you see. Really look at them. Not just they're there in the blur as your mind is thinking about something else, but really look at them. Notice them. Then notice as many things as possible that you hear. Maybe it's traffic outside. Maybe it's someone bustling around in the kitchen, or a dishwasher running, or water running through the pipes. Maybe someone's in the shower. Maybe a fireplace is crackling. Notice as many things as you can that you hear, and really discern what they are. Then notice what you smell. Maybe it's a candle or a diffuser that's burning. Maybe it's a Christmas tree. Maybe it's your cologne or perfume, or someone else's cologne or perfume. Maybe it's food that's cooking. Maybe it's your tea. Notice as many things as you can smell. And whenever possible, bring in the sense of taste. Take a sip of tea. Put a breath mint in your mouth. Take a bite of something that is handy to bring in that sense of taste. Notice what it tastes like. Does it taste salty? Does it taste sweet? How many different notes can you notice in there? And then really bring in your sense of physical touch. Push your feet down into the floor. Imagine your lungs stretching all the way to the bottom of your feet, and draw your breath all the way down to the bottom of your feet, exhaling from there as well. If you're sitting down, notice the support of the chair under your glutes and your thighs, behind your back. Notice your hands resting on your lap or your arms resting on a chair. If you're standing, notice the sensation of the way your shirt feels hanging on your body, or your sweatshirt, or your dress. Just notice as many things as possible that you can sense. And then from that place of very mindful collectedness, you can turn your presence to those around you and the experience allowing it to unfold. Now, that may sound fine and good, but things come up, right? So you want to make sure that you are able to be fully present by planning ahead of time. Turn off the notifications on your phone. Maybe have a little notepad or the notes app on your phone or voice memo handy. And if something pops in your head, like, oh, I've got to add that to the grocery list, right? Or, oh, I've got to remember to change the sheets on the guest bed, or whatever it is, just go ahead and make that note to yourself, and then have a plan that at a certain time of day, you're going to take 10 or 15 minutes, review all of those notes, gather that onto your other lists so that those things don't get dropped. Then in that moment, let them go. You don't want them taking away your presence in this moment. Okay, number 6, we're talking about self-control. And I think self-control sounds like a good thing, but the way most people use it, it's really not. When my own life felt out of control in my marriage, in my family of origin, I really doubled down on controlling myself, controlling what time I got up, how much sleep I got, what I ate, how many ounces of water I drank, how I behaved, especially. I chose my words very carefully to ensure that there were not questions, comments, criticisms that I didn't want to deal with. I was completely censored and filtered. I let some things go, typical family put downs or unkind behaviors, because I didn't want to rock the boat and ruin the holiday. I said yes when I wanted to say no to avoid conflict. I very carefully controlled my thoughts, my words, my behaviors to ensure that I was not targeted. And that amount of energetic management is incredibly intense. It is incredibly intense to feel like you're always on, like you never get to let your hair down or be real or make a mistake or just be unapologetically you. And going into the holidays, my guess is this is something that you dread intensely, knowing the impact that it has on you. Choosing to control or dim down who you are so that you don't become the target of other people. The antidote to this excess level of self-control is self-acceptance. When you give yourself permission to be you, to be human, to make mistakes, to apologize for them, to disappoint or let people down through no fault of your own, but because of their own expectations. When you allow yourself to truly be you, you plug that massive energy leak and you preserve that energy and that focus and attention and bandwidth for the people and the things that you love. Now, if you're like me, you might be thinking, well, if I'm not so controlled, I'm going to lose it. I'm going to explode. I'm going to say something I regret. I'm going to do something I can't take back. And I get that fear. That fear is real. But what I want you to know is that when you stop trying to choke or force down those emotions, those things that are bubbling up out of you, when you stop trying to control them, you give yourself the space to respond rather than react. And that explosion, that, reaction that you are afraid of letting loose is so much less likely to happen. Okay, number 7 is it is not your job to make other people happy. This sounds kind of obvious, but in practice, it can be really hard. I like to define people pleasing as saying yes when you want to say no. How often have you gone to a work holiday party just so your boss doesn't get upset? Or how often have you participated in a holiday cookie exchange just so you're not shunned in your neighborhood or your group of friends? How often have you gone to a holiday event with a toxic relative that you're no contact with just to appease your mother, your father, your grandparent? How often have you stayed up slaving over the stove, wrapping some sort of other project only for it to go completely unappreciated? Now, even if you've been working at not being a people pleaser, the holidays really bring out this old dysfunctional dynamic, this need to put ourselves last and make everyone else happy. But the reality is, you can't make everyone else happy. You can't make even one other person happy. That's not within your control. Why? Because that's their job. That's their job to be happy if they want to be happy. Some people just don't want to be happy. Some people just want something to complain about. This is why you'll often feel like you can't win. You're accused of making too much food. You're accused of making not enough food. You're accused of buying too many gifts. You're accused of being cheap. It doesn't matter which you do, you're going to be put down or criticized regardless. What difference does it make what they think? It's not your job to make them happy, even when it's possible. The key is to focus on the experience and the essence that you want to create. Now, will other people say you're selfish in a dysfunctional household? Absolutely. But I want you to know that you choosing to do what's best for you is best for everyone. Really think about that and let that sink in. Maybe you can't do something. Maybe you decline an invitation because there's just too much on your plate this year. Or you're getting over an illness or something else and you need some extra sleep. Graciously declining the invitation and taking care of yourself is better for everyone involved than showing up bitter and resentful. Your job is to prioritize taking care of you. Let everyone else prioritize taking care of them. If you're feeling the exhaustion, the holiday dread already, and we're not even at the halfway point of November, you're likely experiencing one or more of these massive energy leaks. Maybe you're experiencing all of them. Go back through the list. Start at the beginning. Decide what it is that you want. Identify the essence that you want to cultivate. Prioritize 3 events or experiences that will help you create or cultivate that essence. Prioritize your self-care. Be present in each experience. Become unapologetically you, letting go of that need for intense self-control. And let others be responsible for making themselves happy. Implement these 7 steps or 7 tools, and you will eliminate that exhaustion and holiday dread and completely transform your holiday experience. And if you'd like a list of potential essences, And if you're thinking, gosh, I'm kind of stuck on step number 2, I don't know what all of the essences are to choose from. I need to really think about this to know what I want to create. Download the list of essences that we've created for your own inspiration. I'm Dr. Melissa, and I'll see you next time.